Hello to everyone listening to this radio lesson. My name is Shruti Chhetri and I'm from the Department of Mass Communication and Journalism. Today we will be covering another topic through this lesson, and the topic for today is the SITE project, SITE, which stands for Satellite Instructional Television Experiment. Let us begin. So this experiment, it started on the 1st of August 1975 and it concluded on 31st July 1976, and it marked the beginning of a series of constructive and innovative educational TV programs for national development and for educating the Indian masses who were living in remote rural areas. This educational program were also aimed at making the children sensitive to community living and improving their basic concepts and skills in the areas of language and science. So the programs were directed at creating a positive attitude to education and making education interesting, creative and purposive at the same time. The educational programs were designed so as to familiarize children with facts and matters and normally beyond their observation and experiences. So the satellite for this experiment, which was called the ATS-6, was provided by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known as NASA, of USA, and the ground segment was prepared by the Indian Space Research Organization, or the ISRO, working in collaboration with All India Radio, Doordarshan. So the educational and developmental programs were beamed up to the satellite from the Earth stations, which were set up in Ahmedabad and Delhi, and these programs were broadcast towards India using the high power transmitter and the large antenna aboard ATS-6. So these programs were received in about 2,400 villages in 6 different states of India. Now, one of the purposes of the experiment was to provide a system test of direct broadcast technology in relation to a large developing country, and it also aimed at demonstrating that a developing country like India could fabricate, manufacture and maintain the required earth stations. It could rebroadcast transmitters and community receiving sets in far-off villages with efficiency and reliability. So the experiment was also considered as a learning experience to design, produce and also to telecast relevant educational and developmental programs to widely spread areas with different problems and languages, using on a time-sharing mode a single broadcast channel. 1.5 hours of broadcast in the morning was directed towards school children, while 2.5 hours in the evening were meant for general audiences in the villages. So the evening programs included half an hour of common programs in Hindi, which originated in Delhi. The evaluation of the experiment provided a great deal of information and insight on how things worked and what could be done in the areas of technology, program making, program support, management, etc., to turn this new broadcasting innovation into a powerful tool or aid to education and development for the neglected rural areas. Now, SITE covered around over 2,000 villages, spanning in 20 districts of 6 states, namely Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa and Rajasthan. Instructional television programs for adult viewers were telecast in the evening for about 2.5 hours, which included half-hour national Hindi programs in not just Hindi but also in Kannada, Oriya and Telugu. So the results of this experiment were that As a system of satellite broadcast technology in a country like India, the experiment was a singular success. The research and development capability generated during setting up of this experiment was an invaluable spin-off. It was effective than all other media in attracting the female audience. Also, the continuous feedback through everyday interviews showed that the audience favored instructional programs as compared to socio-cultural programs. A large survey also showed large gains in information awareness knowledge in areas such as health and hygiene, political consciousness, overall modernity, and family planning. It was also found that the gains were greater for underprivileged sections of the rural society, such as females and illiterates. So the gains increased with the degree of television viewing. Also, in the area of agriculture, large number of innovations triggered by the television programs were introduced. Farmers adopted only those new practices which did not demand additional expense on infrastructure. A survey of children showed positive gains in the area of language development and in the attitude of seeking knowledge and information from sources other than conventional classroom teaching. The children learned new stories and songs and activities activities such as model making and toy making became popular in most of the schools. So the site study explored the extent to which a climate for development could be created. Thus, we can say that site was a successful project, and it did help in the development of rural India.